So the New York Times is reporting a story involving Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been a long time supporter of releasing all of the information when it comes to the Epstein files, all of the client names, etc., and knowing exactly who did what to the victims. And apparently she had a phone call with Donald Trump before any of this came to light. Now, Donald Trump, remember, he campaigned on releasing the Epstein files. Yet, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene in this New York Times article, when she talked to Donald Trump, he told her very emphatically that his friends would get hurt if they released the client list. Now, that's interesting because he's saying his friends would get hurt. Problem is, he doesn't have friends. He's got people that are either using him or he is trying to use. That's how he operates. And maybe in some twisted sense, he can view these people as friends. But if they're all his friends, and they all did things with Epstein, and the victims of Epstein, wouldn't that mean he's probably in the files himself? And that he probably did something with the victims of Epstein? It would stand to reason. It reminds me of the analogy of if you have a supporter of 1930s, 1940s Germany sitting at a table, and there are 10 people at the table, and they don't get up and leave, you have 10 supporters of 1930s, 1940s Germany. Now, obviously, I can't say that particular term here on TikTok, or I'll get hit with a community guidelines violation, but you know who I'm talking about. So if he was really concerned about hurting the clients, then the whole reason he ran on releasing the Epstein files was, as I've talked about, he thought he could get into office, run a smoke screen, say, yeah, we looked at it, there's nothing here, and everybody would just drop it and forget about it. Problem is, it doesn't make sense. Epstein and Maxwell were convicted of trafficking, and you can only get convicted of trafficking if you have clients. Typically, you would think that that would make sense. So there are co-conspirators, there are clients out there, and Donald Trump is terrified of them being released. That's why he tried to pressure Marjorie Taylor Greene to not sign on to the discharge petition, to not release the information, and not read those names on the House floor. Now, we will see if she does read them before she leaves the House on January 5th, but Donald Trump is terrified.